Oh, baby, we got another one. This time, this guy. This for entertainment purposes only, TikTok. Don't go taking my video down. We all have seen these pictures of him dropping the so-called melanated Jesus. But my brother, you must have all been in the back when I literally destroyed that whole narrative and proved that they stole that story. And we all know what I'm about to do. This is Fray Diego de Landa. And as you can see here, Fray Diego de Landa was sent here by Pope Leo X to burn the history of the world. As you can see him doing here. But before he did that, he acted like he loved our culture. But he was just learning it enough so he could destroy it. But as you can see here, this is a book that he wrote when he got done committing the atrocities that he did when he came here. I've showed people this many a times, but what I didn't show is the bottom of that page. But as you can see here, it says, they say that these tribes wandered 40 years through the wilderness of the Yucatan, having in that time no water except from the rain. Clearly depicting the Hebrew Israelite story right up here in this paragraph. They are speaking about tribes called the Tutushiu. Later on in this bottom paragraph, they start speaking about a man named Xesus. And as you can see here, it says Tutushius came to be held in high esteem by all. This story, the Maya is telling Fray Diego de Landa. And as you can see here, Xeus, Xius, becomes Zeus when the Greeks take it. Zeus. See, but Fray Diego de Landa was sent here by the Franciscans. They weren't Christians yet. They don't become Christians until they usurp the Moors, them and the pagans. That's why we have all pagan holidays and pagan months. When Fray Diego de Landa and the Franciscans take the name, they turn it into Xesus, Iesus. See, then when they came here and adopted the Spanish language, because Spanish is an indigenous American language, the J replaces the X in the Spanish language. Like the name Javier is still spelled with an X in Mexico today. That's how you get the name Jesus. I'ma keep going. This is a book. And as you can see here, this book, Atlantis, the Antediluvian World, shows you the different codices that the Vatican still preserves today. And as you can see here, this book even talks about where the actual story of Noah comes from, because it certainly don't come from over in no Ethiopia or none of that. Because as you can see here, it says the first age was the age of giants who were destroyed by famine. The second age ended in a conflagration, and the third age is the age of monkeys. I'll get out the way you screenshot this document. It goes on to speak about the origin of Noah and the word itself. The story of Noah was taken from Kashkash or Teotepacli, and later on called by the Aztecs Nata. As you can see here, I'll get out the way you screenshot this document, because it's going to go on to tell you that Nata and Xochitl ended up burrowing into a redwood tree and made different stories out of the redwood. They didn't make no boat. Then later on, their sons ended up going all over the separate different directions with different languages. It's the same as they plagiarized and they took it over into Europe. The Greeks give it to the Ethiopians. See, what they did is they not only usurped our knowledge, but they turned it to the dark. As you can see here in this picture, you see Cain brought the fruits and flowers offering, and Abel brought the fat of his flock. And as you can see here, this is the emerald tablets of Thoth the Atlantean, found on the pyramid walls of Teotihuacan, Mexico. It says Thoth the Atlantean explains the reason for the destruction of Atlantis. Confidential knowledge was imparted to unworthy people, and the latter began using it for evil purposes. They also adopted, you can see what that says right there. And this resulted in numerous incarnations of hellish beings among people. Now, I done already showed y'all that the lands of the West are represented by these two symbols written by the Maya themselves, our ancestors. Again, it says the lands of the West are represented by these symbols, which have been translated Atlan. At means on or in. Lan means the most beautiful. Atlantis, tis means the sister. So you're on the most beautiful sister of the most beautiful lands. And as you can see here, the religion of the Atlanteans, as Plato tells us, was pure and simple. They made no regular sacrifice, only fruits and flowers, and they worshiped the sun, which we didn't worship anything. We just paid divine honors to these things, everything. It also goes on to say how Quasicuato ends up demonizing the animal sacrifice and outlawing it on these lands. Although we appreciate you giving us some sort of credit, we'd appreciate if you just let us tell our own stories from now on, all these. Oh, by the way, the Tuttle She is the Olmec. Not nobody's Hebrew or Israelite. I implore you to get your fruits and flowers offering done. Peace to the gods and the goddess of this universe.